Welcome to the podcast Hot Tracks with Cold Liquids, where we discuss the history, lyrics, and music of our favorite albums while drinking the best beverages. Each episode, one of us submits an album which we add to an ongoing ranking. At the end of the year, we will tally up each of our total scores to determine unequivocally which one of us has the best taste in music.
What is everybody drinking today?
I am drinking strawberry lemonade tea. And it's pretty good. I give it a 6.5 out of 10, I guess.
I've got Good and Gather coconut pineapple sparkling water from Target. And it's pretty choice. It's a good beverage. It tastes like a pina colada with no sugar, and it's water. That's fizzy.
Sugar and water. It's a good combination.
No, that's no sugar.
Oh, no sugar.
Yeah, it tastes like a pina colada that they forgot the sugar and then added carbonation, and then but it's just water.
Well, anyway, my turn. So I'm drinking Freedom of Spa Each because it's a Spa Peach. It's kind of like a sour ale with peaches. It has like a lush peach character with refreshing tart finish. It's very refreshing.
Oh, and I almost forgot that the reason I picked this tea, it all comes full circle because I put water in it, and where'd that water come from? The tap, and it's Tapestry this week.
Dang, that's crazy, but I don't really remember asking.
Dang. That was kind of a stretch. You'll have to do better next week.
That was all I could think of. I gotta make them connect somehow.
There's probably something better you could have done.
I don't think that... I don't know. I thought about it pretty hard.
You could have had water with earth in it, referencing the song, I Feel the Earth Move. You take a little dirt and put it in there. It's good for your gut
some
health.
Spice. A little bit of...
Probiotics.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of dirt.
And then you can feel the earth move within your body once you drink it.
They do say that potentially the reason that there's so much allergies and asthma today is that kids have hygiene, and it used to be that you were exposed to germs in the dirt and it trained your immune system and stuff to function properly. So maybe it is good. Maybe it is good for you to drink a little dirt.
So what if we gave clean, edible dirt in the same way that we give protein powder? People sell that.
Yeah.
We get a big old tub of dirt and we sell it to like health people, people who would buy like kombucha. Tell them if you sprinkle like a tablespoon of dirt in your water, you'll live like an extra 5 years.
So, Carole King Klein, or Carole Joan Klein, February 9th, 1942, is an American singer, songwriter, and musician who has been active since 1958, initially as one of the staff songwriters at 1650 Broadway and later as a solo artist. Regarded as one of the most significant and influential musicians of all time, King is the most successful female songwriter of the latter half of the 20th century in the U.S., having written or co-written 118 pop hits on the Billboard Hot 100. King also wrote 61 hits that charted in the UK, making her the most successful female songwriter on the UK singles charts between 1962 and 2005. And that's just, I just know a lot. Carole King, just pulling that out of the recesses of my brain, my
Wow,
knowledge.
your encyclopedic knowledge of
Yeah, that's a great word. It's funny, yeah, almost like Wikipedia. I would use that phrase maybe even.
wow,
Um,
fascinating.
Man, there were some real bangers on this album.
this is this is so this is so disorganized.
Are you dead?
Man, she really bumped out the tunes for this one. This was some good stuff. She really she,
she really, she really sang them songs, you know.
yeah, she really did a number on those. Did you know that she won the Grammy for this album? She also won.
Was that like
Uh,
the first Grammy ever? No, probably not.
no,
Like,
she's not that old.
when did the Grammys start? Like,
And they
Like
started in
the
like the
50s or
40s.
60s.
The first
it's
Grammy.
gotta be like late 50s, early 60s.
She's not. She's not like prehistoric.
No,
She's still alive.
I wasn't saying she was prehistoric. I didn't think the Grammys were like. I thought they started in the 60s. But
The first
No, this is
like 10, 20
72.
years of the Grammys are like,
oh, that's right. They're like the Sound of Music and stuff.
yeah, yeah, it's all, it's show tunes and stuff winning everything. And Frank Sinatra won like a gajillion of them.
We all know how I feel about musicals too.
Yeah, your
Yeah.
favorite.
Oh, we don't need to get into that one. But the Grammys more like the scammies. Am I right? You
Yeah,
know, I looked at what album she was competing against, and they're all dog water. Like, have you ever seen the movie Shaft? It was like that.
no.
It was like that soundtrack and um, like one of George Harrison's albums that she was competing against. So yeah, it's kind of like winning the NBA championship whenever there's like no other teams against like the JV squad. But yeah, maybe the Grammys gets it right every once in a while.
The thing that's really shocking to me is that for the most part they screw up pretty often, and it's not even a new thing. Like basically since the beginning. But I guess it's hard to know what is going to be significant down the line. Like you look at it today and you're like, wow, this album that's like a total classic got beat out by this album I've never heard of before, but that's weird.
Yeah, it's pretty mid. They should have given the Grammy out. They should do it based on like how funny it would be in retrospect. You got to give it to like a weird artist every once in a while. It's like the best new artist category. They're wild. People who are best new artist, they like never amount to anything on average. Um,
It goes to their head.
it's like, and there's some pretty iconic people. Milli Vanilli, I think, is the group. They actually got it taken away because they were like lip syncers. And they
Oh, I've
didn't
heard of
Oh
have.
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
And if you look at like, okay, who got who got best new artist in 20? The Zach Brown band got in 2010.
They're still
They're
pretty
like
popular,
one.
aren't they?
they're still around.
Really?
Yeah.
They have like one song.
Yeah, that's true.
They got one song. A Bon Iver one in 2012, surprisingly.
He was.
Fun.
They weren't even a new artist then.
Well, you
How
know
does?
who's in 2020, like, you know, Mitski.
Yeah.
She's she's nominated.
Okay.
Mitski qualifies for the 2023, even though she's like been around for a decade. It's pretty much
How
like,
does that work?
I don't know. It doesn't really make any sense.
She's got like 4 albums or something, at least.
Yeah, she's not a new artist. Chance the Rapper won in 2017, and he was already like well known.
Huh.
Um,
Was this your guys' first time listening to this album?
yeah, it was. I heard all the songs. I knew a lot of these songs before, weirdly enough, and there were times where I actually had to do research into like where I knew it. The
Yeah,
big one that like landed me on a rabbit hole was "Where You Lead." I was like, this is some sitcom music.
yeah.
And I was like, where have I heard this before? So I did the research, and it was the theme song for the TV show Gilmore Girls.
Yep.
But I have never seen Gilmore Girls a day in my life. So I have no idea why I heard this song, and I associated it with the TV theme song.
Maybe you just heard it in passing or something like that. Like,
Yeah. Maybe
Or in
I'm
like a past life or something.
I was Gilmore Girls was around whenever I was alive. So that wouldn't really like even out. It was in the 2000s. It would have been very productive for me to have watched all of Gilmore Girl in preparation for this podcast, but I did not. I didn't even watch one Gilmore Girl.
what about you, Nick? Was this your first time listening to this album?
Oh, I've heard it before. I know it's one of your favorites, so I listened to it a couple years ago.
Yeah, I first listened to this album, I think, my junior or senior year in high school, so maybe 4 years ago. And it was one of the albums I first that made me like first start listening to music by album, which is why I thought it'd be a good pick for this podcast. Because now I almost always like exclusively listen to music by album, so I can definitely give it props for that. But yeah, I mean, it's just I think just completely solid, like all the way through. Like, there's no songs that I skip hardly. I don't think I skip any songs in this album if I'm in the mood to listen to it. And there's definitely some banger songs on here.
Yeah, she really was making schmoves whenever she made this album.
It is pretty impressive how many hit singles are on this album, and they're well distributed throughout as well.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, Carole King's musical career is just pretty impressive too. She's written a lot of songs for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's definitely written the most number one hits. Uh, like she's definitely the woman with the most number one hits, but she might just be the person with the most number one hits as well. I can't remember. Written, I mean, like for other people and herself.
Off the top of your head, do you know any other songs that she's written that she gave out to other people?
It's a lot of songs in the '60s, but "You've Got a Friend" on this album is also sung by James Taylor,
Right.
and released at the same time, which she has an interesting history with James Taylor as well. It's like I'm not sure if they dated, I can't remember, or if they were just friends, but I don't know if everyone knows, or like I can't remember what the whole deal is there, but it but that's just one example. I mean, he took that song and it was his like number one most well known song.
I didn't really end up looking super deep into the lore this time, but it seems like there's gotta be some tea with James Taylor just in general. He kept just popping up. Man,
Yeah,
he must have just dated like a lot of stars from the 70s because he dated Joni Mitchell too.
yeah.
they say that It's Too Late is probably about James Taylor, but Carole King didn't write the lyrics to that. I don't remember her name, but somebody else did, and she was in a relationship with James Taylor too.
Oh yeah. Oh, she wrote the locomotion, and then take care
Really?
of my yeah, take care of my baby, up on the roof. Um, it's like a lot of songs in the '60s for other people, but then also you make me feel like a natural woman. She wrote for Aretha Franklin, which is also on this album, her version of it. Um, and yeah, it's crazy how many hits there are on this album.
She's definitely a very, very good songwriter. I'll get into some of that later, probably. I ended up doing. I looked really deep into "It's Too Late," but I'll probably talk about that later, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so many moments on this album that are like just very pretty. I think my favorite lyrically is just the titular track. Tapestry is just like a very, very pretty song, and probably one of the least recognized songs in this album. Yeah, it has the least amount of listens on Spotify, but I think it's just absolutely gorgeous lyrically. Musically, I mean, the piano is just really, really great. She plays the piano so beautifully throughout the whole album. Um, but especially on So Far Away and Way Over Yonder and a couple other songs. I mean, it's just very, very, very pretty piano. We should just like put this
Here,
into AI and see what happens.
we put we put 75 hours of hot tracks with cold liquids into an AI, and this is what it came up with.
this feels like movie soundtrack music, you know? It's kind of like sad music you look outside the window in while it's
Yeah,
raining.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's
yeah. There's some moments like in Beautiful where it's like you've got to wake up every morning with a smile on your face and show the world, and like there's like small moments like that in a bunch of different songs that like pick up from that kind of like almost somber feel that you feel in like It's Too Late or some of the other like sadder songs, where it has a lot of like ups and downs and ebbs and flows that make it like interesting to listen to. And I think one of the reasons why I like to listen to it all the way through as well, because compared to like an album say like Carrie and Lowell or some of my other like really great like really favorite albums by other artists, like they just kind of stay really somber all the way through. And this song definitely has somber moments in it, but it picks right back up and does a really good job of just that up and down like sinuosity.
Yeah, I agree, and I think it even goes past that. Uh, e- Most of what I was noting when I was listening to it was the contrast in general. There, especially in her voice, there's a lot of dynamic range, and she does a very good job of. She'll have very punctuated lines with a lot of more like staccato, and then also very drawn out legato stuff too. Sometimes with even in the same phrase. And there's some very soft and tender moments and some really big moments too. And because of that uh, distance between those, it makes the big moments feel even bigger.
Yeah, and I think it's cool too because a lot of these songs are about like relationships as well, and I think it does a really good job then capturing the ups and downs and ebbs and flows of you know love or a relationship with other. I mean, it really she really pours out. I feel like she's pouring out a lot of her life story with this album. Um, a lot of the things that she's like gone through, like you can really hear that. Um, there's a lot of really, really powerful lines that show the like amount of love that she and care that she pours into her relationships with other people, and the amount of heartbreak that she's experienced. Like you can really tell that throughout this entire album.
Yeah, she really did a number on those on the tracks. She really did something whenever she said, "You got to wake up every morning," because I do that. And
I
every
do
single
that.
time I hear that, I'm like, wow, that's me. I feel seen. This is the album where I feel like the most seen. It's an album for all of us mediocre white guys.
I think that it's very honest, and a lot of that has to do with her voice just being front and center, and the lyrics and the notes. Uh, and it just comes out, and the instrumentation is also fantastic. But it's hard. It would be hard to say that her voice isn't the main attraction.
Yeah, for sure. And it's beautiful singing voice too.
Mm-hmm. It is. I love her singing voice.
Yeah, she really did. She really did sing on this one. She was singing like her rent was due at the end of the month. Never mind. Cut that. That was dumb. Rent is always due at the end of the month.
Not if you own your house.
Man.
I'm plugging Carole King Tapestry into Dolly Mini, and then we can use whatever it comes up with on the thumbnail.
Yeah. That's what's happening in this new era of hot tracks and cold liquids. We're putting all the dials to 10 except for effort. What are we going to call this new era? We should call this the attitude era, like in wrestling. We're all coming back after our hiatus, our training arc.
Mm-hmm.
We're coming back stronger, but we have a new attitude. Anyways, this album is 50 years old. Isn't that wild?
Fun fact.
Fun fact. Did you know she's 80 years old?
That's crazy.
She's
It makes sense.
almost old enough to be a Congress member.
Congresswoman.
I said member.
What?
I said
I
member.
said member? Oh, okay. I got that.
Keep that.
Blooper reel.
Yeah. So what were some of your favorite tracks, boys?
Okay, my favorite track is "It's Too Late," and I have a lot to say about this one because I was listening to it and thinking there's more to this than it seems like there. Like these are so like this is a pretty complex song, I think. So I went and I looked at it, and it was pretty nuts actually. Some of the stuff that's going on here and what's really just a pop song. I won't get too far into the weeds on like what the music theory is for it, but basically uh in the first part of the song it has a raised sixth instead of a minor sixth. So it gets rid of some of the like more depressing parts of the minor scale. And then when you hit the verse and it's like it's too late, baby, then it's I got a minor sixth in it instead of a raised sixth, and now we're like fully in that minor scale, minor tonality, and it's a lot more depressing. And I think that's really cool, especially because of what you were saying, where it's the ups and downs of the relationship. This is almost the ups and downs of a breakup. Um, some of the verses are actually also more optimistic. She's talking about like, this sucks, but I'll always, have a place for you in my heart, and we'll move on and it'll be okay. And then in the verses, it's like it's too late and a part of me has died. And I think it's so cool how well the harmonies match the lyrics. It shows a certain maturity of songwriting, and frankly, I mean, there's just a lot going on here, music wise, that you wouldn't really necessarily expect from a pop song. Um, it's you've got, I mean, these are like all seventh chords and stuff. These are like jazz chords, and and you have modal interchange. It's pretty advanced things that you don't normally see those in pop songs. It's probably more common back then than it is now, but there aren't that many songs even in like the 70s that would have this level of complexity. And I thought it was very impressive, and I respect her as a songwriter.
The other thing I find really interesting about it is, or about that song, is just that, like, I feel like with most like songs about heartbreak, a lot of it's either the singer is the person getting broken up with, or the singer got cheated on in some way, or wronged in some way, and they're expressing how they were wronged. And this song, they were just like, it just fizzled out, which just happens. It's probably how most relationships end, right? And so it's like,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's interesting just that, like, something inside has died and I can't hide and I just can't fake it. It's just an interesting point of view to write a like breakup song from that point of view, as opposed to like, oh my gosh, you're the worst person in the world and I hate you, and or yeah,
Yeah. I think you hit the nail on the head there. I was trying to figure out what it is because I feel like this song, despite being very relatable and pretty simple too, as far as the lyrics go, I don't feel like it's trite. And
yeah,
I think that's why is it's different in that respect. And there's something
yeah.
about
It's
it's
not,
realistic, but it's not like
yeah,
cliche.
it's not, we are
It's
never
too
ever ever getting back together. Your friends,
right.
it's this is what actually is happening. It's grown up. It's a real, probably multi 6-10 year relationship that just fizzled out, instead of high school, like what you usually get in the and what you usually get out of songs at this time about love and heartbreak too,
Sure.
and just pop songs in general.
Word.
What was your favorite song, Austin?
Mine was Beautiful. It's a very fun song, It's very motivational. Sometimes after a long day of Excel and programming, I need something to really remind me how I should be living my life. Waking up every morning with a smile on my face. Sometimes I have to practice that in the mirror. But listening to this song makes it a little easier. Um, but yeah, it's just fun. It's a good one,
Yeah, that's a really good song. Yeah, I find myself listening to that a lot, just like randomly, like throughout the week.
Yeah.
There's something a little creepy about me thinking the image of you like practicing smiling in the morning, like you're
I gotta,
Patrick Bateman.
I gotta relate to the human, to the others.
Yeah.
I am simply not
They
there.
can find out.
Yeah, it's a good one. It really is beautiful, if you ask me.
Wow.
A
I think my favorite is tough. I gotta go. I would say probably with Tapestry, or You Make Me Feel Like a Natural Woman. both at the end of the album. Just I don't know, both like great ways to like. It's kind of nice because I love the song Tapestry, and I'm like, oh, and then like you make me feel like a natural woman feels like kind of like a little treat at the end of the album, like,
Yeah.
um, like it's like just a good way to end the album. I'd probably go with Tapestry. It's just a beautiful song, very like I said, underrated on this album. Like, um, got the least amount of plays, but it's just gorgeous. I love the organ in the background, the organ solo.
Mm-hmm.
It really lyrically is the most complex, probably, except for maybe It's Too Late on the album. And then um, I feel like it really weaves together the
Brother.
the whole album. You know, it really ties it all together.
It's gotta be kind of rare for an album that is like named after a song on the album for that song to have the least amount of plays.
I know, yeah, especially
That's
for
a
how
little
good it
strange.
is too.
Yeah. I guess it probably just says more about the strength of the other songs on the album than anything. Uh, and maybe it also reflects the state of. I gathered just from reading the Wikipedia that they were a little unsure about which songs to push the hardest. I think that the lead single was supposed to be "I Feel the Earth Move," but then I mean it is the lead track on the album, and then "It's Too Late" actually overtook it and did a lot better commercially.
They should have led with Smack Water Jack.
That's one of my favorite songs on this too.
I
No, no.
Yeah, it was difficult to pick like the worst song on the album, you know? And I
Yeah.
kind of just after a while I just wrote down a song, picked it off the list, and I was like, this one's probably the worst. And then I listened to it and I'm like, it's not that bad. I actually like Smackwater Jack because it's different than everything else.
Oh, awesome. What was your least favorite track, Austin?
That's a really great question, man. I really thought about this a lot, but I picked the song Home Again because I went through every song on the album when figuring out what was the worst, and I could remember something from all of them except for Home Again. So I was like, it probably has to be mid. And then I listened to it and I was like, yeah, it is kind of mid. It's forgettable. It kind of just gets stuck in the wash because it sounds like everything surrounding it, except for Beautiful. Definitely the tracks like leading up. But yeah. Also Home Again, that's not really like a theme I want. Every single time I get home, I just want to take a nap.
And that's a bad thing.
Yeah, but it's not like I don't want to listen to music about taking naps.
True.
What about "I'm Only
Probably
Sleeping" by the Beatles?
mid the middles.
What was your least favorite, Nick?
Smackwater Jack.
Cringe.
I just,
Cringe
it's
mid
not even that
mid
it's a
cringe.
bad song. I
Take
just,
all take.
in general, I'm all for having an accent piece kind of song on your album that's different than the rest. But in this case, it just kind of didn't work for me. Everything else felt so succinctly together. Most of them are about the highs and lows of a relationship, and then it just kind of felt out of place, I thought.
Well, who am I to talk to a man with a shotgun in his hand?
Yeah.
Yeah, my least favorite. I was close to picking Home Again too. I probably got to go with Way Over Yonder, but both are like pretty close to each other. and Austin was kind of convincing me with Home Again because I kind of had to like remember which track that was, and I at least like remember Way Over Yonder. So I'd probably go with Home Again as well.
Yeah, it's kind of mid again. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't believe that Nick disagreed with us and picked Smackwater Jack.
I gotta say, I don't even remember Home Again.
See, that's what I'm saying.
I literally just listened to it this morning and I couldn't.
It's the song right after It's Too Late,
Okay.
which also hurts it a little bit too because it's like great song and then
I think it kind of sounds similar also to So Far Away.
it
All
does.
like very slow,
Oh.
sad songs.
Maybe that's why I don't remember it.
You don't remember insightful lyrics like "Snow is cold, rain is wet." Fill my soul right to the marrow.
Okay, I do remember that actually now. Yeah.
Well, how do you remember it? 'Cause I just said
I
it.
remember listening to it and being like, "Wow, snow is cold." There.
But I was born in Brooklyn, so coming back to New York is for me home again. Yeah, they're not really great lyrics. Whenever I pull out the worst ones, I read them out loud in a condescending voice.
Which do you think is more important, lyrics or melody?
Which one do you think?
I think that you could have a good song and the lyrics could be total dog shit and you wouldn't even notice if it was a bop.
Yeah, like
I'm
Limp
gonna pick the
Bizkit.
opposite opinion. I think lyrics are important. See, like Bach, he's kind of mid. He's kind of like not so great because
Because they're not
just
singing;
say because like Kid Cudi,
they're just playing.
That's
Kid
that.
Cudi could, like,
That take
that's
has the same energy as like the Marvel fan watching a movie that doesn't.
Have an explosion in CGI.
What? There wasn't a quip. They're not quipping. It wasn't funny.
Martin Scorsese needs to write more quips in his movies.
they watch all of Goodfellas and they're like, "Where's the post-credit scene?"
Wait, isn't there a post-credit scene in Goodfellas? Like when
They
he's in. What?
What?
They're like, "Why aren't they setting up Goodfellas?"
Okay, maybe
too?"
I can't remember if it's like. I guess it's not technically a post-credit scene. It's just right at the end, but it like cuts to him being spoiler alert for like a 30-year-old movie where he's like in witness protection or whatever.
That's
Yeah,
just
okay. It's just the end of the movie. It does kind of like everything like shifts, so it sort of feels like a post-credit scene, but yeah, I guess it's not.
They're watching Goodfellas and they're like, it's like the scene with the helicopter chasing him, and he's like freaking out, and he's got to like, get all the stuff ready for the dinner, and they're like, why isn't a purple laser blowing the helicopter out of the sky? Where's the CGI purple laser?
He gets chased by the helicopter and he's like, "It's right behind me, isn't it?"
They fly now? Yep.
Fly
they
out.
fly now.
I've never seen Goodfellas, so
It's like, hey, it's right behind me. Hey, oh.
They like shoot somebody and like, well, that happened.
like why aren't they setting up the grounds for the Scorsese cinematic universe? There's no connection between Goodfellas and The Wolf of Wall Street.
The Goodfella verse.
What if at the end of Goodfellas they're like, "Oh, I gotta call up my boy," and then it's Jordan Belfort from the Wolf of Wall Street. And he's like, "Hey yo," it's like, "Who is this?" It's the Wolf of Wall Street.
And they do they introduce the multiverse, and then it's also like Pulp Fiction too. It's the most ambitious crossover of all time.
Hey, I'm the Wolf of Wall Street.
What are we even talking about?
So, where would you guys rank this album on the albums we've done so far?
Oh, I
This is-
forgot.
This is getting harder, and not even from just not even picking where to put it. Just I don't remember anymore.
Hey, I'll send our list.
I think yeah, you might have to. I was looking at it this morning. I just don't remember. I think I wanted to put it. Yeah, no, I'm gonna have to see it again.
Yeah, I forgot where it is actually.
It's in the Google Drive.
Google Drive. Yeah, you know, the longer we get into this process, the more flawed I think this ranking system is.
I don't think we ever thought we'd get this far.
Yeah, at this point, I would not be
Well-
surprised if one day we're like, let's ditch this system.
We were just starting out, and then things really took off when we got 36 views and
Wow.
We have 90. I think we crossed 100 on one of our episodes.
Oh, did
yo,
we should have had a party or something.
Everybody, we should have. We should make a goal once we get famous.
Okay.
We all change our names to hot tracks. One of us is and then the other is cold liquids.
I call cold liquids.
I'll be hot.
I'll be Anne. And then I'll tell people it's short for Andy. Yeah, I haven't thought about where I'm gonna rank this. I'm looking at how mid some of these albums are. I'm gonna put it. I know where I'm gonna rank it actually. So this may surprise some of our viewers who have kept up with the lore of hot tracks and cold liquids. Our hot track and cold liquiders. What is going to be the name of our fans? Have we ever thought about that? I'm
We have to get fans first.
We got one fan. We have one
My
diehard
dad.
fan. Yeah.
I'm thinking Liquidettes.
I was thinking liquidators.
Ooh, yours is better, yeah. Or it could be Liquidators and Liquidettes.
Mm.
It's gendered. Oh wait, no, we should probably get away from gendered.
Yeah, liquidators
It's
is gender neutral.
you're right.
Okay.
Or it could be tracksters. No, liquidators is
I like Liquidators.
I like liquidators.
Yeah.
All you liquidators out there.
Okay.
Sounds a little
There's so many
sexual, maybe
liquidators.
though.
I think liquidators
Yeah.
is good. And then
When we
once we-
go bankrupt too, and they liquidate us,
Yeah.
it'll all come full circle.
once we've reached a critical mass where this business is self-sufficient, we have a yearly merch sale called the liquidation sale or the liquidators sale.
Mm-hmm.
We sell t-shirts and hoodies. That's hot tracks and cold liquids. I forgot the podcast name for a second. Hot tracks and cold liquids, and then it's liquidation services. It's like a fake company name, so people are like, "What's that?" And they're like, "Oh, this is this cool podcast hosted by 3 young heartthrobs." We also have to figure out, once we brand ourselves, we have to figure out what we are. Like, what do we add? You're the wife guy. Which you have a lot on your shoulder. As the last internet wife guy, we know what happened to him.
Yeah.
There was an article on like I can't remember what it was, and they were like, "Is this the end of the era of the wife guy?" Anyways, so the fans are the liquidators. I think that's how you spell liquidators. And once we're all millionaires, we buy a store, and it's a liquidation themed store.
It is so hard to pick where to put them now.
What?
Like ranking,
Yeah.
because it's like to the point where it's like, oh, I like this one better than this one.
Yeah, we should
But
do re-rankings at some point. I think after
we could.
this next one.
I mean, not to be bitter, but I thought we were gonna, like, I suggested doing it, just rating it out of 10.
Cringe. Anyways, you know, if one day we just stop ranking them like this and never mention it again, it is what it is.
Yep.
I know where I'm putting mine though.
Okay.
Tapestry, these. Yeah. But anyways, we'll buy a store and it's going to be liquidation themed. So every month there's a new liquidation sale. Everything must go. And we buy old stores that are going out of business and we liquidate all their supplies for them. And then once we create our mascot, we have the mascot come into the liquidation store and they're like, "Oh, it's Tracky." And Tracky is like a big old record and he's like, "Ooh, it's me, Tracky from Hot Track."
Hey, it's Tracky.
We got to make Tracky. I'm going to add that to our list. We'll make him very brandable.
Oh wait, I wonder if the Dolly Mini. Ooh, that's pretty pretty. It's just a tapestry. Kind of omitted the Carole King part.
Look up Carole King.
No, I looked up Carole King tapestry. Although I spelled Carol wrong. Maybe that's what's messing it up.
Okay. So where do you guys think you're gonna rank this? Korean.
I think I'm gonna rank it at number 6.
Number 7, Carole King tapestry.
I'm going to rank
Some
it
of
at
the
number
rap
15, Burger King foot lettuce.
If you leave.
So when are we gonna do the epic rap battles of history albums?
Oh my god, that's wait, let me see. Holy fuck. Holy fuck. Holy shit, this has to be our thumbnail. Yeah, let me send this to you guys. It's so cursed.
Which one is it gonna be?
The one in the middle is so great. It's haunting. Like dead eyes.
I don't know. I think middle right has to be.
Wow, that really worked. That's actually kind of cool.
Middle right or top middle? I feel like.
Top middle kind of looks possessed a little bit. Top right looks like it could actually be an album cover.
So does top left.
Yeah. That kind of
Like
looks
that,
like what's
that
the
could
one?
easily be a Lord album.
Yeah. I was gonna say it looks like Astral Weeks, like Jim Morrison.
Oh yeah.
It's
I'm gonna
kind
put I'm gonna put James Taylor in here too and see what happens.
of
No, James Taylor, you can't.
okay. So ranking.
Yeah, what do you guys think you're gonna rank this one?
Is that
I know
anime?
where I'm gonna rank this.
Why do you sound like you're like challenging us to a Pokemon battle?
I'm trying to remember
I
what
don't know.
albums
That
we
wasn't
named
that
after.
wasn't me. That was Trekkie, our new mascot that we're introducing. Not Trekkie. Oh, he says his name's Tracky.
Um,
Well,
I would probably go the suburbs. No, Smile, the suburbs. Um,
do you want me to tell you
Doolittle,
your ranking
this,
so far?
Kate Bush. No. Vampire Weekend, Kate Bush, and You Don't Mess Around with Jim.
So you're redoing your rankings.
Oh, I forgot Yes too.
So it's your rankings at the moment is Smile, the suburbs, Doolittle, Kate Bush, Yes, Vampire Weekend, and then Jim Crock is shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna redo that a little bit, and I'm gonna put Carole King in between um, Doolittle and Yes. I'm gonna bump down Kate Bush, and then Vampire Weekend, and then You Don't Mess Around with Jim.
Damn. So you're redoing all of them?
this
Okay, so
this can be our
Smile.
like redo episode. Like change the
Okay.
list now that we've had a couple months to really reflect.
Yeah. Wait, you mean a couple months? What do you mean a couple months?
Sorry, a couple days. We
Yeah,
never
yeah.
left.
I mean, yeah, we have been doing this podcast for like 2-ish months, but it's still pretty fresh, like Kate Bush's. We only did this ranking like last week. Am
Right.
I right? Anyway, yeah, I think I'm going to keep my rankings fairly similar. Actually, I think I'm going to bring Doolittle up from fourth to actually third.
Yes.
I think Vampire Weekend's a little mid the more I get into it. And
That's what I'm saying.
I do think it is better than these 4 other albums, and I'm going to put Tapestry at fifth, above Close to the Edge by Yes, Smile, and You Don't Mess Around with Jim. But I'm going to keep the albums that I picked near the top
Let's see.
because I picked them and I like them.
All right, yeah, I'm changing mine around. This will go.
Oh wait, yeah, you sent the docs.
Yeah, I think I'm still winning though. Have we ever explained our point system? It's very
I don't know if
convoluted.
I had to understand our point system.
I'll create a whole. I'll send the white paper out to you guys on the algorithm I use to figure out who's winning, and I do modify it anytime I am not winning. It's very
Why
complicated.
do I have a puke emoji next to me?
I
Who
don't
did
know.
that?
I don't know. I think it's been there since this has been created.
Yeah.
Let's look at the last time. Yeah, the last time that cell had been updated was May 13th. Because you don't ever update your rankings, so I have to update them for you.
Right now, my ranking is Close to the Edge, Vampire Weekend, You Don't Mess Around with Jim, Tapestry, Doolittle, Suburbs, Smile, and Hounds of Love.
So what are we listening to next week or in the next couple of days? Like we filmed the last one
Right.
days ago.
So next up, we will be covering Dragon New Warm Mountain, I Believe in You by Big Thief. This will be our first album from this decade, won't it? I don't think we have done any yet. Yeah. So we'll bring it into the modern era. This is a album from this year. One of my favorites, probably my favorite of this year. It's at least in the running.
What year is this year?
2022.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's a very it's like folk rock. It's very good. So we'll see if y'all like it as much as I do, I guess.
Yeah. Is it gonna be a big hit? And are you gonna thief your way to the top of the rankings? We'll see next time on Hot Tracks and Cold Liquids. See you next week, liquidators.
God damn it.
Cut that last bit out. Cut that last bit out.
Hey everybody, thanks for listening. If you liked this episode, be sure to like and subscribe. Follow us on Twitter at HTWCL to see memes and updates on the show. And we'll see you next time. We'll be uploading every 2 weeks on Monday nights.